This is a recap on Spider-Man No Way Home. Merry Christmas, guys. J. Jonah Jameson of the Everyday Trumpet has seen Peter Parker's way of life as Spider-Man to the world, while at the same time outlining him as the individual liable for Mysterio's passing and a supposed mass loss occasion in London. Various regular people close by start to encompass him and Michelle Jones, constraining them to escape from the media and the police. They conceal in Parker's condo and rejoin with May Parker and cheerful Hogan, who uncover that they have separated. Not long later, the U.S. branch of Harm Control take them alongside Ned Leeds in their guardianship for cross-examination. Parker enlists Matt Murdock to address him, who figures out how to get his lawbreaker allegations dropped. Be that as it may, as Parker, Jones, and Leeds return to Midtown High for their senior year, the serious debate makes them be dismissed from each school they apply to, including MIT. Parker goes to the New York Sanctuary and asks Professor Weird to keep Spider-Man's character a secret, so his fellow MIT students can escape. Not warning Odd, Wong tries to cast the spell with Kafkul runes. However, Parker changes the spell endlessly, describing various people close to him as being excluded from his possessions. After the spell is filled with temperament, move Weird to control it. Odd angrily kicks Parker out of the sanctuary for not talking to the school president before meeting him. Streak reached out to Thompson, and MIT Parker is unexpectedly trapped by Specialist Octopus, who appears to buy know him. Specialist Octopus gets him and tears out a piece of the Iron Bug reinforcement, moving its nanites onto his limbs. He goes for another strike, however Bugman uncovers his face, which is new to Specialist Octopus. Bugman then, at that point, assumes command over Specialist Octopus' arms with the suit's nanites and salvages the MIT administrator from tumbling off the scaffold. Green Troll shows up and endeavors to go after Spider-Man Man. However, he and Specialist Octopus are moved into the Sanctum, where Weird detains Specialist Octopus and Reptile. He illuminates Parker that Specialist Doc Ock, Lizard, and Green Troll are not from this universe, but rather from equal real factors inside the multiverse. With help from Jones and Leeds, Insect Man finds Electro outside the city. He goes after Insect Man and gains the advantage, however Sandman mediates to safeguard the legend. The two work together to cut the electrical cables, which completely reestablishes Electro's body. At the point when he is shipped off the Sanctum, Sandman accepts Insect Man killed him, but at the same time is caught before he can fight back. Somewhere else, Norman Osborn endeavors to escape from his Green Troll persona, breaking his cover prior to escaping to a FEAST office looking for shelter. Insect Man finds Osborn on account of May and carries him to the Sanctum too. Osborn, Specialist Octopus, and Electro before long understand that they passed on and were restored by the spell. Truly intending that if they somehow managed to get back then they would die, persuaded that they can be restored of their adversarial qualities and be saved from death, Bugman takes the Machina before Weird can utilize it and escape. Abnormal gives pursue, takes Insect Man's enchanted back, and sends him into the mirror aspect to recover the Machina, while additionally attempting to beseech him of the multiversal stakes depending on the guests being sent back. Abnormal gives pursue, takes Insect Man's enchanted back, and sends him into the mirror aspect to recover the Machina. He passes the ring to Leeds and the Machina to Jones prior to setting the detainees free from restriction, taking them to Hogan's condo. He begins with Specialist Octopus, utilizing a distinct Enterprises fabricator to design a substitution inhibitor chip for his limbs and re-establish his higher mind capability. What's more, Electro has an energy siphon introduced into him which is intended to remove his powers. Yet, before he could influence Osborn, the Green Troll persona assumes control over his body, who convinces Electro to eliminate the direct before it can completely remove his capacity. He takes a Bend reactor and, drawing its power, shoots Octavius out of the structure. Reptile, Sandman, and Electro escape, while Green Troll assaults Bugman, sending him to the ground floor. In the wake of hitting May with his Troll lightweight flyer, Green Troll throws two pumpkin bombs, which Bugman neglects to hinder and detonates in their closeness. Bugman figures out how to find May in the rubble. Ignorant that she had been seriously harmed, May tells her nephew not to quit any pretense of helping other people regardless of all chances, addressing him that to whom much is given. Hogan shows up on the scene and is quickly caught by specialists. Misery-stricken, Insect Man escapes. Developing troubling after Bugman's quietness, Jones gets ready to initiate the Machina, however Leeds figures out how to open an entryway with a sling ring coincidentally. Endeavoring to find Bugman, they see what is by all accounts their Bugman on the opposite side of the entryway, bringing him over. Nonetheless, they before long understand that this Insect Man isn't theirs, yet rather one from another universe that recently battled the Reptile and Electro. Once more, Leeds attempts, however summons one more substitute Peter Parker, who recently battled Green Troll, Octavius, and Sandman. The Gathering at last figure out how to find their Insect Man alone on top of Midtown and endeavor to support him about May, yet he is too upset about his mix-ups to try and mind. The other two Parkers start sharing their very own encounters of misfortune and harshness to help him adapt and understand that he isn't the only one. Encouraged Insect Man then. The Parkers, Jones, and Leeds then, at that point, retreat to a study hall lab in Midtown to make the solution for the lowlifes. Osborn's Parker designs an enemy of serum for Green Troll as Electro's Parker reproduces the reptile counteractant to get him once again to typical, while Insect Man readies the solutions for Sandman and Electro. Subsequently, Leeds carries them to the Sculpture of Freedom by means of entryway as he and Jones stay in the lab. Bugman calls into the Everyday Cornet to communicate a message. They show up and go after the three Bugmen on the framework. The Whipslingers can't facilitate actually, which drives them to be handily overwhelmed by their foes. Gathering up, Bugman expects order of the triplet because of his experience as a component of the Justice Fighter. The three take on codenames: Insect Man as Peter 1, Osborn's Bugman as Peter 2, and Electro's Bugman as Peter 3. They choose to draw in and fix each adversary in turn, with Sandman first. In the wake of controlling Reptile, Peter 3 recovers Sandman's fix and passes the gadget to Peter 1, who then conveys the fix to Peter 2.